I was willing to and lost a leg in a foreign country fighting for their rights. There's no way I'm bending the only knee I have left for a king here in America.
We are here today because it is this city, it is this state that cannot, will not, and will never bend a knee to any regime that tells us that we do not belong.
I'm about to head out the door. I wanted to give you a quick note to tell you why. Donald Trump seems to think that he can do whatever he wants, from politicizing our military to threatening Democratic-led states and cities, to upending trade policy, destabilizing our economy, using the power of the federal government to go after his political opponents. He's using the presidency for massive corruption and personal profit and grift in ways we have never, ever seen in this country before. He is trampling our Constitution.
We're here in Fort Worth. This is how you resist. This is the energy. Thousands upon thousands of people right here, Congressional District 25.
No kings! No kings!
Oh yes, that's too came. Oh yes, Europe too represented. Oh yes, the different states of America showed up and showed out. Oh yes, it triggered my trypophobia, but did I like it? Did I love it? I loved it. And now it makes sense why he didn't like this. You guys are going to see the speeches from vets that are reacting to this that took part. They're like, I put my life on a line outside of this country. There's no way I can watch when this is happening and I don't show up and show out. You're gonna see Americans talking. You're gonna see, in different cities, different angles, the biggest peaceful demonstration of your lifetime happened yesterday on No King's Day. Who took part? And by the way, this was not about black and brown and white. And I saw all kinds of people. I saw black activists there. I saw white people there. I saw brown people there. And everything they tried to propagate on this No King's Day protest, they were slapped in the face because none of what they were speculating happened. You probably saw some of these on your TV screens, but I got different angles. I got the most amazing speakers and most amazing reactors in here that you would love to listen to. I want us to look at this. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Did you take part? What do you think? And we will come back with more.
This was today at the Fort Myers No Kings protest. This is my hometown, and behind me is Robert Hilliard, who is a World War II veteran who is 100 years old. He was protesting Donald Trump. He is the OG of Antifa. He is an anti-fascist. He thought it was important enough at 100 years old to get out in the 85-degree Florida heat to push it back against fascism like he did 80 years ago here.
I'm filming live on the march in Lexington, Kentucky. Here you can see we've got quite a crowd, the scale of which surprises even me. I know these outfits, these are dedicated to the cause because I had an inflatable bald eagle on for about 5 minutes and I started to have a stroke. So this is dedication to the cause right here. Panda.
We've heard, and many of you have reported already, this Hate America rally that they have coming up for October 18th, the Antifa crowd and the pro-Hamas crowd and the Marxists, they're all going to gather on the mall. We got some House Democrats selling T-shirts for this event. It is an outrageous gathering for outrageous purposes, but the Democrats in the Senate have shown that they're afraid of that crowd, that they don't want to bow, that they want to bow to them, bow the knee to them, and they don't want to take.
In the streets, we are on the move. There is a shitload of people here. Mike Johnson and everybody in Donald Trump's administration made an attempt to paint this rally as a Hate America rally. Well, guess what? They're wrong. Woo!
This must be where the Speaker of the House says billionaires are creating signs for us. You're at the make your own sign, one per person station. Ooh, scary.
Let's go over some of the best signs from the No Kings protest. Imagine losing our country to a fat bitch that can't even blend his makeup. Billionaires are the only minority hurting America. 13 years of Christian school and you expect me to not love my neighbor. Veto the Cheeto. This is at all of the protests and this is one of my favorites of all time. If Kamala was in charge, we'd be at brunch, which honestly I think is true. I think that the chaos that has been caused over the past year in our society is mainly because of Trump. Never mind, don't take me to your leader, aka an alien, saying that they'd rather not be on planet Earth. Keep the heat on ice until it melts. You know exactly what that means. I hate crowds, but I hate Trump more. We know what goes down at the Republican parties, at the Republican conventions, and we know what's going on behind closed doors. There have been many people that have been caught on Grindr. This is a good sign. Mike Johnson blocked me on Grindr. This is the worst sequel ever, aka Trump's second term. We already know how that's been going down. Have you seen any other crazy signs? Drop them.
We are here in DC for No Kings, here on the ground, tapping in with the people. How can people leverage their power in this day and time? Well, the reality is that we all have to work. Right? The fight that we're fighting is billionaires, a few billionaires who have all of the power versus everybody else. And the thing that we all have in common, regardless of what side of the aisle we're on, is that everybody has to work in order to live and survive in this country. And that gives us an incredible amount of power that right now is like pretty significantly untapped. And so we're talking to people about, are they part of a union? If not, we're getting them connected to ways in which they can unionize their workplace, ways they can join the unions that are already in their workplaces. It's all about collective action. It's about, standing together with your coworkers to demand the rights on the job that you have, to demand democracy. Unions are one of the last vestiges of democracy that we have in this society, and workers control the economy. We are literally in the belly of the beast. We are in Washington, D.C., where the federal government is housed. So for people that are in surrounding areas, whether that's D.C., whether that's Maryland, whether that's Northern Virginia, how can they participate and get involved on the ground? Yeah, so join your union if you have one. If you don't, let's talk about how we can form one at your workplace.
I was willing to die and lost a leg in a foreign country fighting for their rights. There's no way I'm bending the only knee I have left for a king here in America. I can't sit idly by why rights are trampled on and ignored and people are pushed and treated like second-class citizens.
Have y'all seen the crowd sizes at these No King rallies? Look at this. Is not playing with you, Dookie. Millions of people have showed up across the country, across the world. Everybody is protesting you, Dookie. Don't nobody want no motherfucking kings in America. Don't nobody want no dictators in America. You will be voted out soon. But fuck voting Dookie out. How about everybody that's at these protests don't show up to work on Monday? How about that? We can shut all this shit down. We can end this bullshit in 2 weeks and get Dookie up out of here. If everybody that showed up for these protests don't show up to work on Monday, don't show up to work on Tuesday, we not showing up to work until y'all get Dookie Booty up out of office and get shit back to how it's supposed to be. If y'all ain't about to give us free health care for every American in this mother, if y'all not about to give us livable wages, if y'all not about to cap rent, if y'all not about to cap pharmacy costs, if y'all not gonna remove Dookie Booty from office, we not going back to work. Everybody that showed up to these protests, if y'all don't show up to work for this next week, we can shut all this shit down. That's all it takes. Play in their pockets like they playing in our face, and best believe we can make shit happen. If half the motherfuckers who showed up to the No Kings rally don't show up to work for this next week and demand a change, best believe they're gonna be a change. We need to get like Nepal and stop the bullshit.
What is the story of Chicago?
Go to hell.
Is that the message from Chicago?
Yes. What's interesting is that he doesn't understand that all the labor rights around the world came from this town, this place. So if he thinks this place is going to be a fascist hub, no chance.
We're here in Fort Worth. This is how you resist. This is the energy. Thousands upon thousands of people right here, Congressional District 25, the southeast part of Fort Worth. This is where the movement rises.
Nearly 7 million people protested today for the No Kings movement across 2,700 cities. The organizers say that this was one of the largest demonstrations in modern U.S. history. To put that in some kind of numbers, the last time they did this, back in June, nearly 5 million protested. So the movement has gotten bigger. And the one big thing you need to take away from this is that this was an extremely peaceful protest. From all the reports came in, there was no major arrests, and no large incidents. And there were so many protests, but most importantly, a lot of really interesting signs. And there's one that I want to read you tonight. It's very short. We protest because we love America. This is important for many different reasons, but the one that you need to understand is that when it comes to protesting here in the United States, it's more of a patriotic thing than a rebellion thing. It's saying that we're not protesting because we hate people. We're protesting because we love America and we care about the core values that America stands for. We're talking about democracy, freedom, equality, justice. And of course, this has a double meaning because a lot of people went into this protest saying that this is an anti-American protest. And they're saying, no, this isn't anti-American. It's actually more American than ever. Remember that we started our country because we were protesting Britain and the taxes they were doing upon us. So getting out there to speak your mind and how you truly feel in a setting in which, yes, we've got freedom to be able to do that, that is extremely American. Which is why people were out there today to protect your rights, to make sure that America has what they need to make sure that everyone can have rights. But if you were out protesting today, let me know how things were near you. And if you saw a sign that you really liked, let me know the quote in the comment section below. I'll be sure to keep you guys updated on all the news around the world. So
I like to remind people, in the Constitution, Article 1, Section 8, Clause 8, refers to promoting the progress of science and useful arts. In 1787, the people who crafted these documents realized the value of science for our health, our well-being, and especially our international competitiveness. So by ignoring the facts of science, that's extraordinary, that's unconstitutional, that's not in anyone's best interest. But cutting the budget, especially to NASA, is thoughtless. NASA is the best brand the United States has, recognized around the world as the best that the United States brings to civilization. There's going to be another Sputnik moment, as it's called, when China National Space Administration lands taikonauts on the moon in about 2030. There's going to be another Sputnik moment when we realize that China launched missions to Mars in 2028 and they will bring rock samples from Mars before the U.S. does. If you're happy with the China National Space Administration making all those discoveries first, I'm surprised. I think this protest at this size is going to change, going to get these guys and gals to change direction.
And what do you have as your message to the people today? What are you going to say on stage?
Well, the message is no thrones, no crown, no king. We're not running this country with a king. And so we're going to vote to throw the people out who want a king and replace them with people who want the rule of law.
The crowd sizes, the speeches, this is what Donald Trump feared the most. The No Kings protest, even bigger than expected. We're waiting for a final tally, but it is tens of millions of people. The biggest day of mass mobilization in the history of the United States. And these speeches that took place in Washington, D.C. and across the country in front of massive crowds. It's what Donald Trump feared the most. Excoriating, peaceful protest. I want to show you what was going down. Senator Bernie Sanders gave a particularly riveting speech, and here's the moment where he said, everybody remember this date, October 18th, 2025, the day that America had the biggest mass mobilization, peaceful protest in our history. Here, play this clip.
October 18th, 2025, there are more people out on the streets in more communities all over our country than we have ever seen in American history.
And just so we bring the receipts, because you know that's what we do at Midas Touch, and I'm going to show you more of these incredible speeches. Let me show you Boston. Play the clip.
Look at this. Millions of people across the country marching as we speak against the policies of President Trump. This is Boston. Look at that. We'll continue to follow these rallies throughout the day here on MSNBC. Wow. All right, coming up.
All right, let me show you Chicago. You'll hear their Mayor Brandon Johnson firing up the crowd in the background. Here's Chicago. Let's play it.
I know what it's like to come home when you are 5 years old and your dad is not there. And I am still standing.
Well, are you all ready to defend this democracy? Are you ready to fight fascism? Are you prepared to destroy authoritarianism once and for all? Well, let the world hear you. No kings.
They love me. They really love me. I love it. We're in Times Square, folks. We're having a great time at the No Kings rally. They're here for me. They're throwing me a parade. I love a parade. Thank you so much. We love it, folks. We love it.
We have some major news right now. No Kings Day protesters in San Francisco made a huge human sign on the beach saying "No Kings, yes on 50," referring to Prop 50. Check this out. Look at this. It's literally thousands of people on the beach of San Francisco. No Kings, yes on 50 with an American flag in the center. I mean, completely peaceful. Not a single thing of violence, nothing. Completely peaceful protesting in San Francisco. Nearly 7 million people across the globe protested today, one of the largest protests in American history. That's official. That's been confirmed. Hundreds of thousands in New York, hundreds of thousands in Chicago, hundreds of thousands in Washington, D.C., thousands in San Francisco and San Diego, and in small towns and rural and urban areas across the country. This is what democracy looks like.
No kings! No kings!
We are here today because it is this city, it is this state that cannot, will not, and will never bend a knee to any regime that tells us that we do not belong. We have seen a young black man in Chicago thrown to the ground, put in handcuffs, while people called out, but he's a citizen. We have seen a woman outside of a school get thrown down and put in handcuffs. As she said, they don't have a warrant. They won't show me a warrant. They had to release her later. We are America, and we won't let you take her.
That's not loud enough. Today we say no kings. In Washington, D.C., there is a total breakdown of our democracy. Speaker Johnson has become a wholly owned subsidiary of Donald Trump. He has shut down the House of Representatives, where we do the work for the people. Tyranny and liberty cannot live in the same house. So today we say no kings.
Millions of protesters have showed up to No Kings rallies all around the country, including here in Washington, D.C. President Trump's own backyard. The crowd is fired up. It's been a huge turnout, and I've been talking to people about what motivated them to come here today. From a former federal worker worried about the state of democracy to a healthcare worker worried about immigration policies, but all of them hoping to send a message not only to President Donald Trump, but also to their elected officials in Washington.
I am here alone today because there are several people who are starting to become afraid to even peacefully assemble in our country, which is one of our rights by the Constitution. And if you are those people, I want to say to you, please do not lose hope, and now is the time to speak out.
I represent hospitals, and so we have members who are afraid to show up to work. These aren't members who are, or employees who are bad individuals. They come to work on time, they pay taxes, they are like me and you, they are doing right, and they are afraid to show up to be targeted.
Yes, I should.
I want to show you the unbelievable turnout of the No Kings protests in major cities across the U.S. This is Boston, Massachusetts. This is Washington, D.C., where over 200,000 people have turned out. This is New York City, where they expect probably 200,000 people as well. And this is Chicago, Illinois. This entire protest is likely the largest ever in modern American history. Good job, guys.
Mike Johnson, the Republican Speaker of the House, called these rallies hate America events. Boy, does he have it wrong. Millions of Americans are coming out today not because they hate America. We're here because we love America.
See, they tried to rule us once before from across the ocean, to silence our voices, to break us down, and to blind us from the truth. But you cannot chain the soul of a free people. We come from a long line of farmers and fighters and men and women who would have rather died on their feet than live on their knees. We kneel to no crowns, we bow to no thrones, and we stand tall for freedom, liberty, and justice for all. This land was carved in rebellion and baptized in courage, and built on the promise that the power belongs with the people. No tyrants, no masters, no fucking kings.
Raise your right hand, plead the fifth. Trying to cover up names on the list.
I'm out here at this trash protest. They out here talking about some no kings protest. I ain't never said I was a king. I said I was a dictator. Look at them, got their little signs. Talk about no Donald Trump. He said, well, what you gonna do about it? And first of all, they said this was supposed to be the biggest protest the United States ever seen. This don't look like shit. This don't look big to me. This look average. Just a couple hundred people. That line is getting kind of long, I ain't gonna lie to you. All I did was raise taxes on poor people. Like, why they tripping? Like, why y'all tripping so much? And I know they see me standing over here. They ignore me like I ain't the reason they out here protesting. They definitely, some of them signs, I can't read half them signs. I can't read any sign. Oh, it say no kings. So, very, very basic. We done heard that before. If you could get all these people to go to work, you know what I'm saying, instead of protesting me, we'll be all right.
All right, look, folks, I'm at No Kings, New York City. It is huge. It's going all the way into Times Square. I'm going to show you some of my favorite signs that I've seen today. There are so many, but I'm just looking at them right now. You just got to see some of these signs. And look, those are just some of the amazing signs out here today. There are people who are so creative. But look, we already know the narrative that's going to come from MAGA, that the protest was small or that it was violent. They'll come up with some BS. We know it already. We know the playbook. And you're seeing with your own eyes, not only is it peaceful and patriotic and huge, but also people are pretty funny.
I'm about to head out the door. I wanted to give you a quick note to tell you why. Donald Trump seems to think that he can do whatever he wants, from politicizing our military to threatening Democratic-led states and cities, to upending trade policy, destabilizing our economy, using the power of the federal government to go after his political opponents. He's using the presidency for massive corruption and personal profit and grift in ways we have never, ever seen in this country before. He is trampling our Constitution. We're speaking out and we're fighting back. And that's why I'm honored to join my fellow patriots today in the No Kings protests around the country and here in Kentucky. Our state has upwards of 30 rallies scheduled today. It's because of our love for America that we are outside marching in the streets. It's not too late to join in. Find a No Kings event near you by using the link in the comments below.
Alright, so I'm such a veteran coming up with you right now because we were told that this is an I Hate America rally. We want to show solidarity with all of our brothers out here. My name is Ricardo Reyes. I am the executive director of Let's Forward. I'm also a father of 3, a proud child of immigrants, and I am a Marine Corps veteran. I am here to remind everybody of one very important thing. Protesting is not un-American. In fact, protesting is the most American thing we can be doing right now. When I raised my right hand and swore to defend the Constitution, I didn't swear allegiance to a president. I didn't swear allegiance to a political party. I didn't swear allegiance to a billionaire or corporation. I swore to defend the idea that we, the people, have the right to hold the powerful accountable. That's not just a right, it is a responsibility. Throughout our history, progress has never come from silence. In America, the revolution started with protest. Women's suffrage, civil rights, labor rights, marriage equality. Every bit of progress came because people refused to stay quiet when their government lost their moral compass. When the government stops listening to the people, when it uses fear, lies, and force to silence dissent, that's when protest becomes not only necessary, but our patriotic duty. Because patriotism isn't blind loyalty. It's love for the country, and it's strong enough to demand that we do better. Veterans know this deeply. We fought so people could speak freely, not so they can be told to sit down and be quiet. When our rights are being trampled, when our cities are being invaded, when our neighbors are being kidnapped by masked thugs who refuse to identify themselves, we speak up. When you march, when you rally, when you raise your voice, peacefully, powerfully, but unapologetically, you are fulfilling the same oath that we as veterans took in uniform. The oath to defend democracy against all enemies, foreign and domestic. So if anyone ever tells you that protest is unpatriotic, that you need to go home and shut up, remember this. Tyranny fears protest. Tyranny fears the people, because it reminds them that the people own this country. Patriotism is not about blindly obeying a president and his authority. It's about protecting liberty, protecting democracy, protecting each other. In the face of injustice, silence is surrender. But protest is love in action. Thank you for having me. I want to remind everybody, when it seems dark, when it seems bleak, always remember what the great Dolores Huerta taught us. What we all know to be true, what we just said right now, is "Sí se puede!" Yes, we can! "Sí se puede!" Yes, we can! Thank you all for having us.
That's actually really cool.
Aerial view of Boston. As you can see, it's insanely packed. This is in Charlotte, North Carolina. Now this is the people really walking up on his own home and saying, hey, we're gonna come in and we're gonna let you know how we feel. Here's another bigger view of Washington, D.C. As you can see, it goes almost a mile down. This is in New York City in Times Square, and as you can see, this is not the only place in New York where they're protesting. Throughout the entire state, they are protesting. Here is San Diego County, and also in California, there's a huge protest in Santa Monica. And here's another view of Lincoln Square in Boston. Bernie Sanders is literally out there, as he always is, on the streets with the people. Kamala is actually promoting people to go out and peacefully protest to help get the message out there. There are so many good posters throughout, but this one was my favorite. So bad, even the introverts are there. This was another really good one, the Shady Bunch. And to think that we are only in year one with this, man. What do you guys think?
600 protests today. That's what Republicans thought they would see. That's what Republicans were dreaming they would see. That's what Donald Trump and his administration was hoping they would see. What they saw instead was millions of Americans peacefully utilizing their First Amendment right to protest the current Republican regime that is slipping closer to authoritarian rule every single day. So no matter what kind of potential civil war, threats of violence that they thought they were going to get out of the radicalized left, as they call these people, they got none of that. Once again, they were disappointed. Because once again, Democrats showed, and anybody that showed, not just Democrats, there were independents, Republicans, all sorts of life at the protests that we attended. And guess what? Everybody there was there because they love the country and they hate the direction it's going. They were utilizing their First Amendment rights. Left, right, center, it doesn't matter. Today was a day for America. And for America to be taken back and taken away from this regime that is trying so badly to turn us into something that we've never been, not in 250 years. And today, Millions of Americans let their voices be heard on the street, and millions more joined them from home.
I just came from a No Kings protest, and I'm wearing my yellow Kodak shirt because the revolution will be televised. There was so many signs. We made a few. No kings, just queens. Slay. Honestly, I think this one might be my favorite, and this one was from a No Kings march that I wasn't even at. My homegirl's mom sent this to me, and it really resonated with me. It says, I speak up because I am Palestinian, Arab, Jewish, Muslim, Christian. No, I speak up because I'm human. So many of us are so afraid of speaking up because maybe we work at a particular job or we don't want people to look at us funny. Too many people are being hurt, are even losing their lives. But honestly, in this day and age, in this time that we're currently living in, silence truly is compliance. Because injustice can only prevail when good men do nothing. There were so many great signs, but I thought this one was really punny. No foe king way. Pretty cool. Of course, we had the tried but true. Together we stand, divided we fall, all with the backdrop of Old Glory. I mean, even this guy joined in on the fun. Because rallying against a dictatorship will have you fighting for your life.
Remember how for the last 2 weeks Republicans and Trump have been claiming that the No Kings protests will be filled with Hamas, Antifa, and violent protesters? Well, the NYPD just announced that there were 100,000 people on hand and there were 0 protest-related arrests. Can you remind me again who the violent ones are?
What would you say to Donald Trump if he was watching right here, right now?
Release the Epstein files.
Fuck you, I hate you, man.
Get out of office immediately. You're not helping anyone. In fact, you're hurting the entire population. Immigrants are welcome here.
You need help, man. The people around you are taking advantage of you. You're an old man with dementia. This is elderly abuse. Also, fuck you.
It's really hard, just one thing. Bring back democracy.
You're only fooling a small percentage of the population with your lies.
We all see through your lies. You're racist. There's no other words to say it, but you're racist.
Step down. Step down and do the right thing. You need to just go. You know that. I mean, he's not well, and I don't want to be like this. He's ineffective, and you know you're ineffective.
Your days are numbered.
And what does that mean?
You're going to be out soon. And even if you make it to your full term, history's not going to be light to you. You're on the wrong side of history.
All right, today we saw a good case of what we already knew to be true. This is when Democrats protest, and this is when Republicans protest. Here you see No Kings, nice and peaceful, and of course those thugs on January 6th. Just wanted to state the obvious.
Some will fall and some will live. Will you stand up and take your chance?
The numbers are in. Today, over 7 million people all across the world, literally, went out and protested for the future of the people, fair governance, and democracy while protesting against Donald Trump and his administration. Over 100,000 people protested in Los Angeles, 200,000 people in Washington, D.C., over 100,000 people in New York City, 100,000 people in Boston, 100,000 people in Chicago, 40,000 people in Portland, not to mention the loads of people who showed up and protested in places like San Diego, Philadelphia, or San Francisco. And these figures don't even begin to account for what we saw in the over 2,600 American cities that hosted protests that I haven't even named. And the best part of it is, these protests were peaceful. Cities like San Diego and New York City reported 0 protest-related arrests, making No Kings Day 2.0 one of the largest peaceful protests in this country's history. And this is incredibly embarrassing to the White House and many Republicans in Congress that referred to these protests as Hate America rallies and called the attendees violent, hateful people and criminals. Today, we saw a shining example of what democracy should look like. The American people made their voices loud and clear. This is a win in my books, and it should be in yours too.
What do you think about that? That was epic. Welcome back to the channel. How are you doing? I'm excited. I am super, super excited because once you organize for something and people show up, that's amazing. You can literally call people for, something and you've been speaking about this for the longest and people still choose not to show up. But for the sake of democracy, for the sake of your First Amendment, for the sake of the so many rights that you guys are fighting for, everybody was willing to come out. I saw old people, being ridden in their wheelchairs. I saw the most wonderful cards. It's the cards for me. It's the cards for me. And I'm going to read some. RIP checks and balances 1789 to 2025. Other people are like, the only thing truly safe in America is the Epstein files. No one is paying us to be here. We detest you for free. Oh my goodness. Know your parasites. Dietic, dogtic, and lunatic. I'm telling you, free balls for members of Congress who lost their balls. Oh my goodness. And you know, some of these were like these. I don't even know if you can see. But others were like orange lies. Orange lives matter. Oh my god. The wrong ice is melting. Respect existence or expect resistance. All right. Can't spell hatred without red heart. Okay. Girl, he's just not that into you. Ash, dump Trump. My god. Alexa, change the president. That's some of the signs that were on there. But I think the most interesting thing is actually authorities given the data already, and they say they did not do any major arrests on that day. It was so peaceful compared to when the January, those people, the Proud Boys, came to the White House. And yeah, compared to when they protest, compared to when the Democrats protest. Now, definitely a lot of people are like, this is not going to create a change at all. You know, of course, it is the Magas that are like, yeah, what is the essence of coming up and showing up on a Saturday? You know, it's no work and all of that. Well, that would mean that actually more people are going to turn up. And when you prepare days like this, turn up is very, very important. You know how America is. People live 9 to 5 now, not everybody, right? But a lot of people leaving their workplaces to go, it could be kind of inconveniencing because you need that check. And you see, is already, you know, cutting the food stamps or the SNAP benefits. It's taking those away. So people, at least for me, I would agree with the idea of converging on a Saturday, which was actually amazing. The amount of people that turned up, the amount of messages that were overwhelmingly shared, from the writings, from, you know, the art, people put in their all. And whether the Republicans think that this has no effect on them, Donald Trump wouldn't have come out with an AI video of him on a jet and then he's, you know, throwing SHIT in the congregations that were, you know, protesting. That was an AI video after seeing what they saw. Yeah, which means they were moved. And a lot of people are like, you know, for you to protest against No King's Day, which means you accept we have a king, which we don't have in reality. They are not only detesting a king, but rather the ideas and the way that he's coming for the US Constitution, how he's an authoritarian. That's the signs of someone that just wants to be the king. How he's bending, you know, the judiciary, just turning it against the people only to work for him. How he wants to literally turn the military into a force that is only loyal to him. That's not how it's supposed to be. These are the ideas and ideologies that people detest and protest. Okay? But you have seen quite a lot of people turning up. That was amazing. It is believed that around 7 million people showed up, not only in blue states. I'm going to show you some protests in red states because I think that will shock you as well. But I want you guys to let me know what you think. Did you protest? How was it for you? How was it in your city? Did people show up? And yeah, what did you think about this world protest? And do you think this is sending a message to the president and the people that believe in him that actually people really, really don't like what he's doing. And even those that were actually discouraged, they came and cried. They're like, yeah, for me, I came here because I wanted to see how violent these people are going to turn. And to Marshall, I've known seen the Palestine, whatever that they were talking about. I haven't seen Antifa. So people are like, we were, he lied. Let me know what you think in the comment section. I hope you liked this episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel and share it as well. See you guys later. Love you and stay safe out there.